From the early settlers who braved the unknown to build a new life, to the immigrants who continue to resettle in search of opportunity and freedom, the American experience is truly shaped by the diverse backgrounds and experiences of its people. But what does it mean to truly be an American? Through the stories of individuals from all walks of life, we'll explore the staggering culture from our country's rich history and cultural traditions to the challenges and triumphs of those who have called America home.
The Declaration of Independence states that all men are created equal and have certain unalienable rights, such as the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These ideals have shaped the nation's identity and have inspired countless people from around the world to come to America in search of a better life. However, the reality of American history has not always lived up to these ideals, as the nation has struggled with issues of racism, discrimination, and inequality. Yet, the ideals of liberty and equality have persisted and continue to inspire efforts to make the nation a more perfect union.
I would hope to say yes, pardon me, but I don't think it's a reality, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think as human beings, we see differences among each other, which is perfectly acceptable. I think we should see differences on each other. The problem is accepting the differences, and that's where convincing people to not necessarily agree with your beliefs, but just to live with the fact that there's differences. That's almost an impossible task if we're being honest. All you have to do is analyze the political climate of any topic. There's always going to be people pro, people against, and it's the same thing with discrimination. We should embrace our differences. We should be happy that there's differences, but the fact sometimes as humans that the fact that someone's different makes us uncomfortable for some people, and they can't deal with that. So the sad reality, in my opinion, is that no, there will always be discrimination, unfortunately. The problem is that some people choose to take discrimination to a further degree rather than just like dealing with it, which is fine. It's okay that we're different. As long as you don't bother me, I'll keep on with my life. The problem is that people want to do something to get rid of that difference. And that's where discrimination becomes an issue. But to answer the original question is no. I think unfortunately we will continue to deal with discrimination for a long time.
America is a nation of immigrants with a history of welcoming people from all corners of the globe. This diversity has played a crucial role in shaping the nation's cultures, values, and identity. However, through these benevolent practices, there have been many biases that minorities are considered less American than those who have whiter skin.
From the early settlers who came to the New World seeking religious freedom, to the millions of immigrants who came to America in search of economic opportunity, the nation's history is intertwined with the stories of people who came to this land seeking a better life. Today, immigration continues to be a key part of what makes America unique. The nation is home to people of every race, ethnicity, and religion, creating a melting pot of cultures that has enriched the nation's social fabric.
What was your experience with becoming an American?
My experience becoming in America, it was more of I didn't really have a choice. I was brought here by my parents at the age of 10. So honestly, when I arrived here, I didn't really think much of it. It was just a new place that I was living, just like you move from house to house. It didn't really become a reality until I hit adulthood towards the end of high school, where I started to need to apply to college and whatnot. So that's when it became a reality. So my process was the fact of my country's origin, which is Mexico. The waiting list for a green card can be quite lengthy. I'm not sure 100% what it is right now, but it's upwards of 20 years, I believe. So I was very fortunate in the sense that my sister is actually an American citizen. She was able to get my father and mother residency, which is her green card. And then they were able to get me a green card. But like I said, everything is kind of a process. So by the time I turned 18, I was asked to leave the country in order for me to obtain my green card. So I left the country at 18. I lived in Mexico for about 1 year, luckily, because I had no idea how long I would have to be over there, if I'm being honest with you. By age 19, I was able to interview for my green card. Luckily, was able to obtain it. So I obtained my green card at 19, and I became a U.S. citizen 5 years later.
With American immigrants often having conflicting feelings whether to feel patriotic to their maternal origins or America, it can be quite difficult to identify what is patriotic to them. For many, being an American is crucially tied to the feelings of what patriotism is and national pride. This pride is often rooted in the nation's history, its values, and its accomplishments.
Patriotism is about more than just love of a country. It is about a commitment to the nation's principles and values. It is about being proud of the country's history, but also working to make it better for future generations. At the same time, patriotism does not require a blind loyalty to the nation. Being a patriot means being willing to criticize and hold the nation accountable to its ideals and working to make it a more just and equitable society. Okay, and the last question, what differentiates someone as an American other than just living here?
That's a tough question, man. I mean, because that question could be asked about any nationality. Like, what does it differentiate to be Mexican? What does it differentiate to be anything? Honestly, to me, it doesn't make any difference. As long as the place that you choose to live, which in this case we're talking about the United States of America, is that number one, you want to live there. Number two, that you obey the laws that are set in place in that country, in such country, and that you're okay dealing with what the culture is in that country. That's what makes you an American, in my opinion, not the fact that you were born in the United States of America. Some people could argue the opposite, and that's the beauty of this country as well. We have different views. So to me, nothing differentiates an American other than you don't want to be an American. That's quite simple.
Okay, so you cannot be an American if you choose to.
Correct.
And live in America at the same time.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of immigrants that have the choice to come here. Like, I had a choice when, as an adult, which was, I could get a residency, which is called your green card, but the next step is to become an American citizen, and that's a choice you make. Like, do you want to be part of this country and be named a citizen, or do you just want to live here? Which, it's a personal choice at that matter. Now, as you're born, even when you're born here, I'm not sure you're familiar with the fact that as an American citizen, you could actually denounce your citizenship. You could move away from this country and denounce it. So it really does become a matter of choice. For some people, you're born into it. So for other people, you gotta have to go through a whole process and be lucky enough to be accepted into the country legally, per se. So, yeah.
All right, thank you so much. That'll be it for today. Thank you for watching.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Being an American is not just a matter of citizenship or nationality. It is a reflection of the values, beliefs, and ideals that shape the character of the nation. It is about embracing the nation's history, its diversity, its ideals, and its difficulties in order to make it a better place for all.